Good morning, everybody. And so sorry if that hurt your ears.
Oh, man.
Today is Fabulous Friday, and it is fabulously not fabulously cold outside, depending on how you like your weather. Not so much my favorite when it's cold, but it is the perfect time for a warm coffee from Starbucks. So if you haven't gotten your coffee yet, go grab your coffee, snuggle up in a blanket, make sure you have your phone, and watch our show.
Or in Lindsay's situation, even in the office, it is a heated blanket.
Yes.
That is that
I
she
thought you were
has.
going to rip on my coffee
No,
again.
no. She has a heated blanket in here. Like I will be in this office and I'll be sweating. And she'd be like, I'm snuggled up in my heated blanket.
So cold.
So good morning, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in this morning. We have a couple of guests, and this is our first time doing this. We actually have 4 cameras set up. We have 4 mics
So
set up,
exciting.
4 headsets set up. And if I get the split screen wrong, I'm learning. So a little bit of
We're
grace
going to
this
give
morning,
you grace.
please. Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Just,
Thank you. I
just
appreciate it.
today.
So the 2 individuals we have here, they are actually here visiting family. And back in the day, we used to have almost weekly marketing meetings with them and just spitballing. And it was so great because when you're the only marketer in the room, sometimes you're like, man, it's just so hard to connect with everyone else because they're not thinking the way that you think. And I get around these guys and I'm like, these are my people. Like we just, the way, the amount of glass that we could write ideas on and figure things out was just amazing. So I'm going to welcome Wally. Wally, good morning. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me. Appreciate being on this show today.
Of course. And his brother Fung, how are you, sir?
I'm great. Thank you for having us. I appreciate you guys, always welcoming us.
It's so good to see you. Like, just let's just be real. It's so good to see you. It's been so long.
It is.
I feel like the last time I saw y'all was Code Launch. 2 years ago?
Yeah, probably 2 years ago for you, and then I think maybe beginning of 2020.
Yeah, right at the beginning of 2020, we hung out with Nick a little bit.
Yes.
I think we went to a birthday party for your child.
And then
Right.
and then
Oh,
COVID.
that's right.
And then COVID happened.
There we
and then-
go.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I
Like,
was also-
it's just been so long.
I
It's
was
been
also
a long
beardless
time.
at the time.
Yes.
Here we go. It became very hard to do after I joined FLP. Mm-hmm. And what you guys can't see right now is I'm doing like 5 or 6 different camera variations that are going on the screen. And I finally got it where like they're here and like we're here instead of it being, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but no, like
Can't
after
wait to watch it later.
Oh, you yeah, and you're gonna be like, Nick, did you really change it 3 times? Did you really? So after I joined FLP, it was very hard because when you're an entrepreneur, we could go down to Austin and go to Digital Marker. We could have those lunches and those breakfasts, moments and just really plan things out. I had that flexibility, but when I went W2,
All of a
that
sudden-
went away.
All of a sudden your time got taken, right? Like,
What?
All of a sudden your time went away, right?
Oh.
Like, I think we talked about that too, like trading time when you go back to W2, right? Well, it's interesting, working in the corporate world too, becoming an entrepreneur. You get free time as an entrepreneur and a marketer, and then all of a sudden you go back to a job you have to clock in hours, right? You're like 9 to 5, like, oh man, I got to report to somebody still.
And it's not just the reporting someone, it's you lose that time freedom, right? Like when you're an entrepreneur, you're a small business, you have that flexibility. If Lindsay's, let's say Tristan gets sick today, guess what? She can pick up and go, right? Mm-hmm. Like you have that now. When you're W2, you really don't have that. Mm-hmm. So it was a great learning experience, but I will take the ownership of that. I think our friendship went in a different direction because of the decisions I was making at that point in time. So
That's all right.
thank you.
Life happens, man. Like, I'm not gonna hold that against you. You know what I mean?
Ultimately, it's about what was best for you at the time. So then that was the best decision for you. And so I don't blame anybody for taking the best decision.
You got a
know what I mean?
family and kids, man. Like,
I don't have a family. I have a family, but no kids.
Yeah, speaking of the freedom, y'all just like picked up and moved states. What?
I would move there.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, so the audience doesn't know what we're talking about. Go ahead. Where did y'all move to?
So we moved to St. Pete, Florida, St. Petersburg. We've been there now for the whole year.
Yeah, we moved in January 2021.
Yeah.
How is that?
So what prompted this? Just
No, so we actually used to live in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
That spot actually in
2018?
2018. Yeah, I actually lived there, and then we moved from St. Petersburg to Dallas.
so that's where your family's at? It's in St. Petersburg.
No.
Your family's here.
They're in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay, catching up.
Lindsay,
Catching
get-
up. I know, right? Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, we're originally from Louisiana, and so Wally has a history and stuff like that too. But he ended up coming to Dallas first to work. It did not work out for him in the corporate life, so he ended up trying to go do marketing himself. And then I lived in Dallas for a little while. I worked at telecom at Verizon for about a year and a half, and I just got tired of it. And then Wally called me up and was like, "Hey man, you ready to quit your job?" All right, yeah, let's do it. I'm ready.
Yeah, at that point, I had been doing marketing for like a year or so. So and the business was doing okay. It was making some revenue, and so we're like, okay, it's like, oh, it's a real thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
This is real.
So
We can do this.
it's really real. So so that's when we first moved from. I was in Dallas originally, then moved to St. Petersburg, and that was in 2018, and then we moved back to Dallas later, like a year later. Or a couple years later,
Due to some unforeseen circumstances.
yeah, well, won't gonna go too deep on that. That's a long story by itself.
Yeah.
So we won't go too far on that. But then we moved back to Dallas, and that's when we were in the Frisco area, and that's where we met Nick. Originally.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
And then they moved back. So how is it being back in Florida?
Love it. Really love it. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's really cold here.
If you're friends with either of them, they always take videos of like their beautiful views when they wake up
man.
and living on the water. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go visit.
I think everybody's always asking us like, "Where's the invite?" Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
where was that?
We're not waiting. We're just gonna come.
Like, come on, what have you?
You guys should just start an Airbnb, like just buy a massive house and just start an Airbnb, and it's just for your friends only.
Okay.
It's possible. There's a lot of people in St. Pete that like thought about that too. Actually, a bunch of like the tech people, and,
Right.
It's a bunch of software guys that live in St. Pete too. Right? They're kind of entrepreneurial, but they build stuff.
But they build stuff.
It's like techie.
Yeah,
it's
really,
like-
really techie. So they thought about building like this tech home of like
Ooh.
12 like software developers in a house and just like hang out. So like I was like, well, like new Silicon Valley.
right. Oh man. Yeah, so I just FYI, so if you guys need to go follow them, they're huge on Instagram. Like when I want to learn stuff about Instagram, these are the two guys. Whatever. Being modest, these are the two guys that I reference back to. These are the two guys that I ask questions to because you guys know it. That is, I remember when we first met each other. I mean, it was, Nick, you need to be doing this. Nick, you need to be doing this. And I'm like, I'm over here on Facebook, LinkedIn. You're like, no, you're missing it. You need to get on Instagram, and here's how you do it.
Are you guys on TikTok?
Are we
I am on TikTok. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Since we're going, I get so. These guys are on the forefront. When something new comes out, they're the ones that I'm like, okay, I can step back a little bit, give myself a little bit of breathing room because I know Wally and Fung are going to be jumping onto that platform first and figuring it out. Like you guys enjoy that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
A lot of fun, honestly. Just seeing what people do, right? That's the marketer in us, right? We're just we got to a point where like we want to know how you buy things. Like,
There you go.
How do you buy it? How do you sell it? What's the emotions involved? That's fun.
And I feel like being a I guess a curious person in terms of like how that works is kind of like the secret of being a marketer, right? Because it's like if you're really curious and if you're a good buyer, then you'll like go through all the steps, you'll like see everything. Like perfect example. There's this YouTube channel. So I'm trying to learn how to speak Spanish, by the way, because I moved to Puerto Rico.
You know, I wondered because like your text messages were all these Spanish and like pop-ins. I'm like, what? Nick goes, they're multilingual. They know a few words of each language. I'm like, oh. Well, that's awesome.
That's funny. So I live in Puerto Rico for half the year, and so I'm like working on my Spanish to like get better. And so I like impulse bought this course on YouTube, but you know, as a marketer, you got to go through emotions. So I was like, okay, cool. Like I like how this is working. I like how like he got me exactly where I wanted, like right in the emotions. I bought the upsell. Like,
He got you. Yeah.
The whole funnel.
He had a great funnel.
it got me really good. So now I'm learning how to speak Spanish.
And
How's it going?
It's going okay.
Let's hear some.
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
I'm not going
oh
for it.
Yeah.
man,
This whole show's on the
Lindsay,
spot. Yeah.
vicious.
He like just started like last month.
Ola,
La Playa. I live near the beach.
you do. Yeah, that was good. That was good. ¿Dónde está el baño?
Yeah.
And I'm completely lost in this conversation right now.
You gotta brush up on your Spanish, man.
No, that's Google Translate.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a really good skill too, because if you figure out how to write marketing in Spanish, that whole market's untapped still. Mm-hmm. I see. Now
I'm gonna let
get a
you.
course on Spanish.
Great. Hey, for the next Spanish-speaking client, I'm gonna hire them to come in and translate. There we go.
Well, I'm gonna need a translator for that.
Hey, we just keep subcontracting it out so we get to the right person eventually.
Right.
Hey, that's all that happens in government contracting.
That's big digital marketing right there.
There you
right
go.
there. It's a handoff of a handoff. Of a handoff.
Paid off, right? Just how has to stay. And so something that we enjoy doing is I don't mind using subcontractors as long as they're inside the United States.
Right.
I have nothing against any other countries, and I get it. But there are so many people still trying to make it because of the recent epidemic, right? Because of the recent shutdown of this economy. You have a lot of people within the United States now that need work. They need work. So I am all about keeping it here inside the United States. And after we get back up and running again, sure, right? I have no problem because my brother lives in the Philippines, right? He's like, hey, send me some work. And I'm like, bro, people need it here too. Like,
Right, it's true. Well, it's about quality too in the U.S. sometimes, right? It's the American made thing, right? That's that since the 40s and things like that, which is interesting that modern marketing was introduced right around the 1920s, right? And so like it's been like American quality has been a thing since the 1920s.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
See,
American made quality.
American made quality.
American marketed quality.
That's the modern marketing.
Bacon.
My marketer brain just went going.
Exactly. That's the modern marketing right there.
Okay, good morning, Amber. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Sean. Let's see who else is joining us this morning. Man, we got a couple of people. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? So Sean. So guys, here we go. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
Do y'all know what catfishing is?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, in what form?
That was a good follow-up. That was a really good follow-up.
In what form? So it was really funny the other day. We were having a conversation about catfishing, and Lindsay had no idea what
That's
catfishing
not
is.
true. I was playing the audience.
So what she did is after we got off the camera, she went and she Googled it real quick to learn because she didn't want to,
No, I didn't.
I know.
Lindsay's face is like, why are you doing this?
Because it's fun. And, even though we work together, I don't get to pick on her enough. So,
I get it.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it.
So Lindsay, what's catfishing?
You take a pole in a boat and you go find some catfish. They're bottom feeders. They live at the bottom of the lake. Yeah.
Guys, is that catfishing?
Well,
That's one
way.
form.
One form of catfishing.
That's one form. Okay.
That's the one I'm most familiar with. I haven't had any personal experience with this other one, and I'm okay with that.
I think that's just called fishing. I think you're just fishing if you're using a pole.
Good morning,
it.
Thea. Thank you for tuning in today.
Thanks for that.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. All right, so no, Sean, we're not going to talk about catfishing today. We actually have a couple topics that we're going to
Why
talk
did you
about.
bring it up?
Because Sean's asking about. He's like, can y'all talk about catfishing today? I was like,
That's
yeah.
funny.
Sean, do you have a hurt that we need to talk about? Like, we need to have like a deep therapy session. Did you get catfished? And
We're gonna have him as a guest on the show. Maybe he'll have a good
Oh,
story about it.
yes, we'll talk about it when you come on.
There we go. There we go. All right. So
That's
It's
another
tough.
thing.
It's tough. He's like, Nick's
Wait,
like,
what?
That's just gonna be an interesting show.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tune in for that one.
I'll let you know when you guys hear that one. I want to hear it.
Oh, that is greatness. Oh, okay. All right, we're gonna switch gears a little bit. So, obviously, when you come on the show, one of the things we like to do is we like to buy you coffee, right? We want to say thank you for being out here.
Thank you.
So,
Appreciate it.
Not sponsored by Starbucks, but please sponsor the
yet,
show.
yes,
Yes,
not
please.
sponsored by Starbucks yet, right? One, or you want to know what? Even if it was like a local coffee company, I think that'd be fun to be sponsored by like a local coffee company, right?
Yeah,
Just,
if you want to just donate a couple of coffees, you could sponsor our show.
right? Just cold brew, cold brew, cold of the brew. So one of the, and then the other part of that is you guys get to actually share some topics with us that you guys would like to talk about. If we ever get to them, we do. If not, just because of the organic conversation, we don't. But we're going to switch gears because it's, you guys asked a really important question, and we do have entrepreneurs that watch this channel, right? So I think this is really good. And the question is, what kind of business are you really trying to grow? And I need you guys to elaborate a little bit more on that.
Right?
Bro,
Because
you can take the lead on this.
Yeah, so
Yeah, you got it.
I had this conversation with a couple of my other entrepreneur buddies, and it's really based around like lifestyle, right? Meaning like how much money are you really trying to make,
Ooh.
right? Like what is the number for you to be comfortable to do things, right? And then because there's that company that did credit card processing where the CEO where he took a down payment on his stuff and paid his entire staff up to $75,000 a year.
Yeah, yep,
Right.
yep. I read about that.
So doing that method, right, then you kind of makes you wonder, like, well, what kind of lifestyle are you really trying to live? You only need $75,000 a year to live a comfortable life and go travel 4 times a year.
only $75,000.
For the average person, where like the trip's like $2K, right? So, and that's just average out across.
Right.
So, when this question was asked to me, I have my late mentor this past year asked me the same question about our marketing company.
Okay.
What kind of business are you trying to grow? And he particularly asked me about my agency, me and Wally's agency, right? And in our agency model, we were thinking like we need to be this multi-million-dollar agency. We need to have all these clients and stuff like that, right? This Rolodex of people will just work and work with all these people. Well, we had a whole huge Rolodex of clients, and we just got really burnt out,
Been there, done that.
really, really tired. So then we started to think about what kind of business were we really trying to grow, right? Did I need to be making $10,000 or $100,000 from my agency, or do I need to be just enough so I can get me to the next step?
Right.
Right.
I like it.
So there's, you don't have to have just one business that, takes you to wherever. You can have one thing, that skill set that takes you to where your business needs to go. So we had that long discussion, like how much money we trying to get, how many clients we really want to work with. Well, turns out not that many.
No, I think this is and you need to hear what Fung is saying here, because a lot of people go, oh yes, I want to get to 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, whatever, right? But sometimes you don't realize all the sacrifice you're going to go through and time and energy to get to that, when honestly, $75,000 a year, if you know how to budget correctly, you know how to manage your money correctly, could provide a very, very good lifestyle here in the United States.
Yep.
And now you're not losing your almost soul, taking care of X amount of clients. And when you limit the amount of clients that you're willing to take on, now you can start being picky.
Well, not only that, you're
There's-
allowed to, I'm going to cut you off, but you're allowed to charge the price you want.
There you go.
There's so
So-
many W-2 people that would dream about making $75,000.
right?
Just putting that in perspective.
100%.
Not even like the entrepreneur, yes, but people that have W-2 jobs, managers would like to be making $75,000.
So now you're making 75 grand and you have time freedom. So now it's not your money rich, time poor, right? And so Fung was the first person to start talking to me about that. Great, you're money rich, your time poor, or are you poor and your time rich, right? But you're able
There's
to
a lot of
balance
people like
that out.
that too.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So you're gonna pay for it one way or the other, right? Either in time or money. So it's like if you have more money, you're gonna pay for that in money. If you don't have money,
time.
you're gonna pay it in time. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But understanding that balance, what I like about what you said is you're defining it. You're not letting the outside influences define that money that money piece. You're defining it, and then you're figuring out the time around it.
Yeah. So what was really cool? So you know, like I said, my late mentor. So he passed recently in the last couple of months due to COVID. But I would classify him as like one of the best underground marketers that you could ever find. Reason being is because when he asked me like, what kind of business are you trying to grow? He's like, the misconception is that most people want to make gold mines, right? And so he said, what about an oil well? Right. So gold mines, you know, you have to take more resources. Once you start digging for gold, all of a sudden you get more axe picks, you got to get more shovels, you got to get people, you got to get wheelbarrows, now you got to get infrastructure to go in the mine. But for oil wells, you're just digging straight down.
You're just using the same tools,
Same
maybe
tools.
replacing,
And
updating.
testing ideas to whether that's an oil well or not. And so for him, he used to work at he used to be a Wall Street broker at Bear Stearns like back in the day, and then he ended up having a really big marketing agency too in the early 2000s, but ended up same things. Like I built what I did not want in life. Right.
How many entrepreneurs have you heard say that?
Right.
Especially when they get
a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, at the
right?
end of their journey when they can't change it.
Yeah. So and he ended up retiring, and he was retired for about 2 years. He was just golfing and things like that, trying to figure out. But he was like, well, I want to make something for my family and those types of things. And so he built this thing called the Hustler Secret.
The Hustler Secret.
Hustler Secret, and this is you can't go to this website anymore because they took it all down since he passed. So like all of his systems and things like that are taken down. But what his sales copy is so good. Like he's a direct response like advertiser to his core and copywriter. He had 2 beers in a bar and wrote down this whole page about the Hustler Secret. And it was you take this polishing cloth, this little substance, and you can put it on the face of your club, and you're guaranteed to drive the ball 200 yards every single time straighter than arrow. Every single time.
That's going to appeal to golfers.
And appeal to golfers, 100%.
Right.
It's a $50 product.
That's it?
That's it. And over time, he in like 3 years, he ended up making $3 million from it without doing any work.
So for anybody that was curious, his late mentor's name is Kevin Hutto.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that I was just wanted to.
No, thank you for that.
Thank
'cause I'm
you for
like,
that plug, yeah.
well, no, well, it's not that like because y'all know him, right?
Yeah, of
we
course.
don't, the audience doesn't. So is there a book? You mentioned they took down all the courses. Did y'all get the rights to that course? Because there's people that will want this.
Oh, 100%. So I have access to all of his information, things like that. It was interesting because when I met him was actually through Wally's mentor. We were attending a conference at a marketing seminar, and I was like, hey, I want to be mentored by that guy. He did this whole speech in front of like 300-400 people, wrote on this whiteboard, this extravagant strategy. Everybody in the audience eyes was glazed over. Not a single person was taking notes.
Except us 5.
Except 5 of us.
Except 5 of us. We were like over here just like
this
just
guy's
like
dropping
hammering.
gold.
Right?
And so when he released the program, like I definitely got an opportunity to get into it this year. So it was the first time. It was like the first time he released like this type of style of programming, learning about oil wells in general. I lost my thought on that one, but
It's okay. So here, a couple takeaways. One, you guys got in the room, right?
yeah,
Wally's mentor. There's a conference. Y'all made sure that you were in the room, okay? And you got to think with all the digital marketers out there, there were between 300 and 400. That's not even like 0.01% of digital marketers.
Yeah.
Right? 2, out of the 300 to 400 in the room, 5 of you were taking notes. 5. You have a person who is literally writing down gold on a whiteboard, and you're going to sit there.
yeah.
This is people like why did digital marketers teach what they've learned? Why did digital marketers share what they've learned? Because no one's
Even if you share it, only that 5% or that 1% is going to go and actually do something with the knowledge.
and that's it. And people are like, Nick, why do you share your secrets? I'm going to help someone, but 2, out of everyone that I teach, one person may do it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So why not? Well, why not share that knowledge? So you here hear this, okay? If you want to be successful, you're doing exactly what these two gentlemen are doing. When you get in the room, if you have the honor of getting into the room, you better be taking notes.
So definitely to pace that all together. So one thing that was really cool about Kevin Hutto in terms of like how he thought about business was, like there's a capacity with every business before you need to hire more people, before you have more infrastructure, more staff, all those things, right? So this whole oil well concept was really cool because what he talked about was basically, okay, why build the business to 90% capacity? Why not have it at 70%, but no staff, no infrastructure, no problems with fulfillment, and you have just a bunch of those instead of.
So he had about 47 of these websites that he created, that each generated anywhere from 6 to 7 figures a year.
And he just maintained the websites.
That's it. He ended up figuring out the process of it. So he had a formula called the infinite ROI formula, and it's effort versus time. So it's like if you took a project and put 100 hours worth of effort into it, and at the end of the year it only generated you a measly $1,000, but in 5 years it generated you $50,000 without lifting a finger anymore. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
But most people don't have the foresight. They can't see past that week.
First year.
Or oh wow, you're giving people a year.
I am
You're being
generous.
really
I
nice.
am being
You're
generous,
being
but
super nice.
That was really generous.
They're evaluating. It's the end of the year. People,
Oh,
this is the
interesting.
season
Yep.
of
Okay.
evaluation. Did this work? Did it not work?
Right.
What do we do different? Do we need to pivot? If that didn't work in their mind and it only generated $1,000 and that wasn't their goal, why keep going? Why?
Right.
And that's where a lot of people
It's a
get
time
stuck.
game. Yeah.
Because they're like, I don't want to have to put all that work in again, or I don't want to have to do this again, but they're not thinking, well, this is only going to take me a few hours to maintain all year
Right.
Yep.
next year.
Yep.
Yep,
They're
I built the
thinking-
foundation.
From the start to the beginning. They're not looking at it as building a house.
Right. They don't think about it like in 5-year terms. They're thinking about in like 2-month terms. Right. And we run a lot into that with marketers, right?
Right.
Now digital marketing almost seems like a get rich quick scheme. Like,
Well, and so that's actually something that I'm kind of happy that the government is looking at getting involved a little bit more. Especially on social media and things of that nature.
Like, what?
It's like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
So
to our crypto topic.
well, where I'm going with that, I think it's getting to the point where you can't just take someone who said, hey, I'm going to be a digital marketer today. And I've decided I'm going to be a digital marketer. I'm going to go open up an agency and I'm going to be a digital marketer. You don't, there needs to be some kind of a qualification. There needs to be some kind of a standard now because people are spending a lot of money in ad spend. People are spending a lot of money on websites. People are spending a lot of money on social media, and you need to start having certifications. You need to start having degrees. And I understand that I'm on a slippery slope right here. Okay,
Yes,
I'm walking.
I'm listening. But
Okay,
I'm like,
right. I'm
2x4.
no. I'm on a knife. I know I'm on a knife's edge. I know that. But there needs to be something to start holding people a little bit more accountable to some of these.
What's the standard? Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, and what would like? Let's just say that was to be. What do you think would be the standard?
Oh no! See, I'm not. I have not given it any thought.
Okay.
I'm not sitting here like I'm sitting here looking at some of the the websites that we look at.
Yep.
And you paid how much?
Yeah.
Right.
No, absolutely.
Right.
No,
You paid how much to have your social media ecosystem built, and they didn't even know about their business manager suite, like on Facebook.
Yep.
Wait a second, they didn't know how to connect your Facebook to your Instagram through your business suite. Like, wait a second, you hired a digital marketer to get you on TikTok, and they didn't even know the basics of TikTok. Like, it's
right.
so easy to say I'm a digital marketer that specializes in X, but then there's really nothing to back that up.
Yep.
And
100%. 100%.
That's really good for our second topic, honestly.
Yeah, let's roll. Let's roll. A shift towards, so the second topic is a shift towards skill-based economy.
This is our last topic. We got to keep it short.
Oh
'cause
no,
we're
we're already
running
at
on
30
time.
minutes.
I
Okay.
know, we're running
all right,
on time.
All right. And just the reason for we're gonna keep it short is because we're going for breakfast, y'all.
It's an important meal.
Lindsay's hungry. Let's be real. That's what's going on.
So what is this? A shift towards a skill-based economy. Go ahead.
Well, so skills in general, right? Like you're seeing the economy shift where a lot of people are getting desk jobs,
Okay.
right? And you're seeing a lot of technical skills like trade people not coming out, right? Construction stuff like that. You look at city structure, right? It's taking a long time to do certain projects and things like that. There's not enough contractors out there. Not enough people doing manual labor, those types of things,
Interesting.
right? And then you look at these tangible skills, even on these desk jobs, right? They're just pencil pushers. Like I'll say it, like they're just pencil pushers. They're not actually. They're made and operated. What's interesting about the college education in the course of my time of business
Yep. No. Yeah.
is that when you go to college, they're teaching you how to do a task job on paper so you can make someone else more money. Not actually you make more money.
That's true.
That's what
I agree.
I don't think that's just in college.
Right. It's not. That's how we've
I
been
think that's our
programmed.
entire education system.
Right.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I agree with that 1,000%. So I guess to swing that into like this like skills based economy, like think about like I perfect examples like the IT career. Like, what do you need if you want to be an IT professional? Like, you got like an A+ certificate, right? You've got like all these kind of networking certificates and all kinds of things that
Yeah.
you got to do, right? And that's how they deem you as a professional, right? But what does that certificate say that you have? I have skill. You know, it's like I have a piece of paper that says I have a
Yes.
skill. So it's almost like the same thing with like developing a skill to make money, right? Or like whatever. It's like, let's say you're a coder. It's like, okay, well, if you're a coder, you can then develop that skill to maybe go in business for yourself, maybe broker a deal, develop your own software, whatever. And that's what I mean by going in towards like a skill-based economy, because really, like if you think, I guess swinging in like inflation, all this other stuff, right? But like we're up 30% pretty much like from year to year, right? From last year to this year.
And we're not even the beginning in inflation still. We're still in the beginning parts of inflation.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse.
So your earning, well, the point is that the earning power needs to go up one way or the other. So the only way you're going to increase your earning power is developing some kind of skill or extra skill on top of whatever you're doing right now to make more money.
Making yourself valuable.
Yeah. Right.
You need to be irreplaceable.
But what I'm hearing you say is this is not always a degree thing now.
No, not
now
at
this is a skill thing. Like you need to go to workshops. You need to spend X dollars, a couple thousand, not a couple tens of thousands, but a couple $1,000s, and start learning new skills because this move to digital, the way Meta is moving into the virtual reality and augmented reality.
Yep.
It's happening.
It is happening, and it is. You're gonna blink, and it's gonna be here.
And I think getting internships while you're in high school, like even there's just so much that you can do that the education, and if your parents aren't aware, nobody's telling you this. Nobody's sharing that information unless you know the right questions to ask, and nobody's telling you what questions to ask. So if you're not in it for like thinking outside the box for yourself of this is what I want in my future and this is how I want to get there, nobody's going to make it happen for you. You have to figure out how to make that happen, and answering and asking the right questions and finding those answers by finding mentors.
So it's interesting because what was it? 2 weeks ago, I got to meet with an executive recruiter,
Okay.
and he said, "Your degree is a checkbox. After that, I want to see what skills you have. I want to see what I want to see.
what can you do?
What can you actually do? If I put you in front of a client for a 6-figure position, right? I need to know that you have the skills to fulfill that. Your degree is a checkbox.
Yeah, and it's just not just like technical skills; it's soft skills at that point too, right?
Yes.
Like it's a combination of hard and soft skills at that. Like, can you do it, and then can you make sure that people understand it?
Ooh.
I think actually one of the most valuable degrees, like if you're going to go to college, you're bent on going to college, you think this is the only way, or your parents are like, you have to go to college. It's not an option. One of the best degrees that you can get is a communications degree,
Right.
because that is
Interesting.
a soft skill that's going to help you no matter what direction you go.
That is correct. Now, hear all of us. Okay, we are talking about a skill-based economy. We are not saying don't go get your college degree. Okay, just like you going and working out. All right, when you go to college and you learn how to expand your mind and you learn how to think outside how to think outside the box, right? But what we're saying is don't make that your only education piece. Okay, and if you don't want to go to college, don't look down on yourself because you didn't go to college. Okay, what we're saying is you need to make sure that while you're in college, you're learning these other skills. And if you're out of college, make sure that you're getting these certificates and continuing to grow your skill set. Because if you do not, you're going to start falling behind.
Yeah, we had an intern this year. I don't even know. And they were finishing up college, and she was getting her marketing degree in marketing. And I was like, so what are you, right? And then she comes in and we're like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't like, we need to start from the ground level.
Oh, yeah.
And we need to train you up in what marketing actually is. So
Yeah, definitely what they learn in school is like not it.
it's like
not
dinosaur
That is
compared
true.
to what's happening today. And so if you're going into marketing, just from a marketing perspective, education background, get your communications degree and then go outside of the school and take marketing classes from actual marketers.
So that it's very interesting because she would actually tell us that they were not allowed to bring their laptops into Photoshop class. They had to bring their textbook. They had to write down notes and then go back home and
then
learn
do it.
and do their Photoshop homework
Isn't that
at home.
crazy?
That's insanity.
That's ancient, like
Yes.
type
Yes.
of like thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, I the thing with marketing too is like is so think about like we were talking about it earlier, like basically a lot of people's jobs is to make other people money, right? So it's like as a marketing degree in college, you're basically becoming a marketer for a semi-large business, hopefully, to make them more money. So you need to be really good at spreadsheets, and but you're not really working as
But
like
what skills are you bringing
CMO.
with it?
Okay, so I'm gonna
Not
go
a
back to the
CMO,
executive recruiter real quick. He said, you know, your boss owns the job, but you own your career. Okay, and I think this is very important for people to hear. Your boss owns the job, but you own your career. So if you got stagnant
Yep.
in your job, if you got stagnant in your growth, that is you not taking ownership of your career.
I like that. Correct.
Yep. I believe
Okay,
that.
because there is a way to be a W-2 employee and have a good lifestyle. There's a way to be a W-2 employee and have a good and have
Work-life balance.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you. But you have to remember the people that you're sitting here in this room. We are hardwired entrepreneurs, right?
I haven't always been. So it's a learning journey
So
for me.
sorry.
can be learned.
The
It can
person
be.
above me and the person to the left of me are hardwired entrepreneurs. The person that's catty cornered to
the
me.
guys in the room, yeah, the guys in the room are hardwired that way. I am learning.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's how much because when you used to teach what?
Business and finance.
Business and finance.
Interesting.
I know, right?
Wow,
And-
that's awesome.
I didn't know that actually.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
That's
And
new.
then you came and you hopped into this world, and what did you learn?
I did not help any of my students.
Honesty.
And
Is this
I'm
an
just saying,
apology to them?
like, but that's what's available as well. Like, there's so much that is, their hands are tied in the education system. Your hands are tied because new textbooks aren't being written; they're just being rewritten.
Yep.
So how old is that information in that textbook, and it's just being reworded a different way?
Or a new
But it's
version?
irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Like it doesn't matter. Like yes, it's like a needle in a haystack of the amount of information that you're giving those kids based on the textbook, and it's a disservice. That's part of why I left because I'm like, this isn't helping. Like. I love teaching. I am a born teacher inside. Like I teach Nick stuff every day.
Definitely an operations person.
She is.
But and I love the relationships. I do miss the relationships of it, but I get that here. I get it in different ways. And it's it was just mind blowing of how much I didn't know because I was part of the system.
Yeah.
And once it's like the Matrix. Oh my
You
gosh.
took the red pill.
I got unplugged and my eyes are open. I can never go back.
You just made I am so impressed with you right now.
I love the Matrix. Such a great series.
Okay, so we're gonna hop over to the
Nope.
last topic. Oh no, we're not.
We are cutting this off. We cannot
5 more minutes.
No.
5 more minutes.
No.
The last
right,
topic's pretty easy though. Like
2 minutes.
We've already talked about it. Each person gets one statement.
Okay,
Go.
all right. So you're a
like the
marketer, whether you believe it or not. True or false?
100% true. I mean, if you have no friends, you're a bad marketer.
100%.
Let's just
Okay, okay.
add
All right.
people right now, right?
But no, the reason I say that is more because like with social media and stuff nowadays, like it's so easy to like position yourselves and like have people perceive you a certain way. Like it's
Are we talking about catfishing again?
It's part of it,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
that people can use it in a negative way.
Right. It's whether you want to use your abilities for good or evil. Right.
Yeah.
That's what marketing's about.
Okay. All right.
But I think that's really important because like if you think about just like the power of social media versus like when it wasn't there, and like what you can do, like you can have people like watch you at your Thanksgiving dinner. That couldn't happen like when I was really really young. You know
I
what
watched
I mean?
somebody decorate their house with Christmas decor.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I was,
You
that was
can't
gonna be
do that. You can't do that without social media.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
All
if you
right.
own
Anymore.
if you own a
Right.
business like that, like people in your friend group and that like follow you on social media, like those are they can like watch into your life and all those different things. It makes them feel closer to you. And like, what's the most important thing when it comes to transacting with somebody, either your friendship, business, or anything? It's like trust, right? And it's
Yes.
like because you can see all those pieces of their life and you feel like you know them very well, like you develop that trust, right? And so it's like everybody's a marketer. Anyway,
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So that's definitely a true. So that's a yes. Go ahead. What do you got?
Oh yeah, 1000% true. You're a marketer whether you believe it or not. Like especially if you're applying for regular jobs. If you're going out there doing W-2s, you have to present yourself as the person to be hired. Right? That's marketing.
You're in competition with everybody else.
Everybody else who's
So
just
why
doing
pick?
everything.
Why pick you? Why is your product better?
Right. Yeah.
'Cause the
why is your
product is
resume
you.
better than that
You are the
was?
product.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Marketing's
Okay.
everything.
Lindsay?
Agree. That's all I got. I already gave my 2
She-
cents in both
she-
of theirs.
she is-
So I mean,
She's like, I'm so hungry. Like,
yeah, we're on time. We
Ladies
gotta
and
get-
gentlemen,
you got 2 seconds.
we are going to be ending this episode. So just Wally and Fung, I believe you guys
Hey,
had.
Nick, true or false?
Oh no! You said we had to end the show.
No. Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I believe you.
That's cool.
You guys are going to be heading back home, right?
yeah.
yes.
So we want to test this system with you guys again when you guys are remote. And let's see if we can do another session like this
Okay.
with
All
you
right.
guys back home. And that way you can show everyone this beautiful city that you guys get to live in.
I won't have to fake a backdrop.
Just go outside. Have your back, like your backyard. It's beautiful.
Right.
Just like the pictures.
So hey everyone, just thank you all for the comments. I know that everyone else can't see it, and you want to, Lindsay, that's what we need to figure out. We need to figure out how we can mount like a big screen so everyone can read the comments, right? Because there's a lot going in here. Wally, Fung, please go into the comments after we get done. So we're gonna go have breakfast. So if you don't get any comments till a little after breakfast, that's the reason why we're not ignoring you. Okay, but thank you guys for tuning in today. It is Friday. Get it done today. Get it done today. And if you're like, oh, this can wait till Monday. No, don't procrastinate today. Get it done today. Next week is a short week. You need to be mentally, physically, and spiritually ready to have time with your family. All right. And they need you to be on point. They need you. Okay. So get it done today. Get whatever work you need to get done. Get your plan set and make sure you have Monday and Tuesday kind of lightly scheduled out. Now, here's what I'm saying. Don't wait for the big project to Tuesday afternoon. Get it done today. Okay. And you need to do this. All right. Because the people that you're going to be around need you on your A game. You don't know what leadership is going to be needed till you get around your family. You don't know what blessings you need to bless other people with till you get around your family and friends. They need you. Okay. Thank you all for the comments. Thank you all for the likes. That's how we know to pray for you. That's how we know to keep you within our sphere of influence. And that's also how we know to invite you to the show. Right? You want to be on the show? You better be in the comments and you better be liking this because that's how we get it set. I'm actually already talking to Sean and Gary about bringing them back on the show. Wally and Fung, you guys have already been asked to come back in the comments. So high fives to both of you.
Awesome.
Know that you are blessed. Know that you are loved.
Yes.
You have a great Friday and have a great weekend.
Rise
Bye,
up.
y'all.
Peace.
Peace.